What was the origin of the festival? It's 25 years old now. I mean, how did this...
Well, the festival's 20. The lab, the institute's 25.
Right.
And that was the thing that started the whole deal, was were the labs. And then once the labs, that's our development. Our lab program is development. That's what it was started for. And then when it became clear to me that we were developing the skills of these new filmmakers, but there was no place for them to go, that led to the idea of a showcase festival. Just to have a place to gather and show their work, and hopefully maybe an audience would gather around it, and that's how it started.
What is so special about Park City? And there seems to be a different type of interaction among filmmakers and actors at that festival, certainly than anywhere else. I mean, what is the magic out in Utah?
First of all, Park City. Park City, the reason we did it there is I didn't want it at actual Sundance, which is about 35 minutes away, because the impact. If it were to succeed, it'd be too much impact.
Right.
And also, Park City is very commercial, and it's geared up for commerciality. So you've got restaurants, and you've got retail, you've got all the stuff that would attract people that are coming for audiences. So it was a perfect setup, because we manage it out of our place, but we put it on at Park City because they just have more. They have more real estate to work with. It's just it's just like Aspen or Sun Valley or any other ski area, except it had the infrastructure that suited us to provide food and retail and space.
You know, when I think of your early career, I, always hark back to the story of you carrying the film cans of, I think, Downhill Racer around trying to get that movie sold. What does independent film mean to you? Sort of a misused term today. What does it mean to you?
It's become such a broad term that I think probably people that want to use it should be thinking about how to use it as it relates specifically to what their own particular mission is. For me, it was just very simple. And yeah, it started with the misdistribution of Downhill Racer, which was a very small, low-budget film made for a large studio. And I had asked them that they please release it as a small kind of independent type film, and instead they put it out in a large format, which doomed it. And when I saw that, and I realized that there was probably a lot of other filmmakers and films that had been misdistributed for that same reason, I thought maybe there's something that I could do down the road to create an opportunity for those people who make those kinds of films. And that was probably the seed for Sundance, but that was way back. That was back in 1970. So it wasn't until 1980 that we started the Sundance, but it was started as a lab program, nonprofit lab program, to just create opportunities for new artists in the area of independent film. That was my gun. Can I pick it up?
Leave it there, it's fine.
I knocked over the table last time. Now we're dropping the.
You never know who's around us. So at any rate, it was started just to put something back, to create an opportunity for new artists in the independent film area to have a place to develop and grow. And once that started, then I realized that once we helped them, there was no place for them to go, because the mainstream had no slots available for independent film. So that's when I focused on the category of independent film. And that led to the festival. So once the festival got started, we were development, and then we had showcasing. And then once that succeeded, then suddenly we had a platform that we could create new opportunities, like growing audiences, increasing the value of documentaries, using the festival as a platform to push types of films that didn't get any chance, like documentaries, international films, shorts. So that's really how it started 20 years ago.
When you look back now, are you pleased at the way it's developed? Are there disappointments?
No, I mean, it's hard to be disappointed about something that's so gone beyond, in achievement, gone beyond what I imagined. No, there's no disappointment. There's difficulties, there's stress, there's all that stuff, just managing it. I mean, it's kind of like a wild horse. But that's okay. Whatever, the whole point of it all was to create, and is to create, an opportunity for new artists with new voices, new things to say in film, theater, music, documentaries, to have a place to grow and develop, and then hopefully create a showcasing for their work to be seen. So that's happened, and that's why we're there, so I'm happy about it.
Well, there's no question that it's succeeded beyond probably anything you could have imagined. It's the preeminent festival for independent film. It's looked forward to, everyone in the film business looks forward to it. It's a place where we go to see movies. It now seems you're trying to grow it. And part of growing it is, you know, the Sundance Institute at BAM. So tell us, what's the idea behind bringing it here to Brooklyn?
The labs were put in motion to create the opportunity for the filmmakers, and then the festival followed. And at a certain point, it was pretty clear to me, once the festival reached a high point and a maxed out volume, that we would want to have an outlet in another place and for showcasing. And that hopefully we could find an outlet that would partner us with some group or some organization of like mind to us. So obviously BAM fit that very nicely. Also, on a personal note, I started my career here. I grew up in California, but I started my career as an artist here, in theater and live television, and then spent 40 years of my life here. So I have a kind of a root here myself. So the idea of coming here and coming to Brooklyn, because BAM is committed to the same thing we are in discovering new artists in film and theater and music, and it just felt like, considering their kind of edgy profile and ours, it was a like-minded fit and something I've been working on for many, many years, and so here it is, and so I'm happy.
What do you think it'll grow into? What's your hope for Sundance Institute at BAM?
The hope would be that this series that we're starting would be continued. It would be a yearly thing, and the advantage to it is that not only do we create an opportunity for artists to have their work seen in another place besides Park City, but we can also bring the films from our festival quicker to audiences. Now, part of the objective of Sundance is to grow audiences as well as create the opportunities for the filmmakers. So by starting here and hopefully create audiences for this here, then you're starting on a kind of a new path that would lead to some sort of new distribution. So I would hope that this be a yearly event and that we can increase the exposure as we go, but you know, one step at a time.
So much of Sundance for me is the filmmakers, of course, but I'm not one. I'm a movie goer, so I go to look at the movies. There's also a unique vibe at Sundance that is very, very engaging and I think supportive of actors and directors. Do you think you can create that same feeling here in Brooklyn? I
think so. Well, first of all, ironically, most of the filmmakers, most of the artists that have come through our labs are from New York and particularly Brooklyn. So that's another fit. I think humility is a word that's big on our screen about how we comport ourselves in the festival, keep it low-key, try to keep it simple. It's kind of hard right now with all the ambush marketers and all the hoo-ha that goes on around it, but that's okay. At the heart of it is a kind of point of view about how you go about your business and keep it a little more on the rough edge, keep it looser, keep it more informal, more casual, encourage people to interact with each other, loosen things up. You get rid of things like red carpets and limousines. That's for something else.
What do you hope for the next 25 years of the Institute and the festival?
That I outlive it.
Well said. Thank you very much.
You
It's
bet.
always a pleasure.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it was great to be here. It's wonderful to have it here.